Alrighty, everybody. This is another 3-minute video. I'm going to be explaining how to transition from first gear to second gear to third gear. Okay, let's start the clock. Don't forget, if you like my videos, hit the subscribe button. If you want to get a free song, text the word jazz. You'll see I'm scrolling at the bottom. If you're interested in some of my music, you could buy all of my music. It's a huge library, about 4.5 hours, almost 5 hours now of music. All of my original stuff. On my website, Rick Parma, for only $20. You get all the music for only $20. And I just put out a brand new song. I put out a new song at New Year's, and I put out another new song just now. Actually, literally about 5 hours ago. So enjoy. Let's get into it. Let's start the clock. Okay. Like I said, gear 1 is your low notes, right? You got to transition, right? So what you're trying to do is just let go of some of that, or let go of that pressure. You want to transition now into your second gear. Okay, so you hear how I did that? You hear how it's like, I'm going to get close. You hear how there's like, all of a sudden it got thin. It was like real thick. See how I got that? What that is, and here, and I'll do it from the second gear to the third. Okay, you heard the obvious second to third gear. What that is just your larynx. Your larynx is a 3-part section. Okay, it's not necessarily 3 parts. But I say it's got a low spot, a mid spot, and a high spot. For singing all your low notes, your larynx. You can't really see it on me because I got a fat neck. Yeah. But if you put your finger on your Adam's apple, and you sing low, you'll feel the thing kind of drop, okay? But then when you're in the talking range, it's kind of like in this mid area. But when you start singing up higher, it starts going up higher, right? Now, when you switch to your third gear, it's always high, okay? When you're singing in your third gear, it's always going to be high. Nothing wrong with that. It's not straining. People always say, oh, try to bring your larynx down to sing high notes. That's not the case. Okay, it's really not the case. Your voice is designed very simply like an automatic transition. It's gonna do it on its own. If I'm singing like this, or I'm singing like this, it's gonna do that by itself. Okay, you don't have to force it. All you have to know is, when I want to sing this note, am I singing it in first gear, second gear, or third gear? Then you take that note and you figure out how to sing it in that first gear, second gear, third gear, okay? So right now I'm just going to talk about the transition part. Let your voice transition by itself, okay? Okay? From switching to your second gear to your third gear is going to be a little bit more of a break, because that going up real high like that, it actually has a sound, a flippy sound. From going into your low note to your mid-range, it's not much of a flip sound. It just kind of drops the thickness. But in your other one, there's a little flippy sound. Okay? That's kind of what they do. They call the yodel. Okay? Now, you can yodel, but there's really not much of a yodel sound going. I'm going 1 2 1 2 1 2, but going 2 to 3. There's an obvious switch. Okay, so what you want to do for that is just lightly, just trying to slide into it. First, you understand what you're sounding like when you're in your third. And then you understand what you're sounding in your second. And then you slide between. Don't do it hard. Just learn how to slide it. That's it. Now, there's not a zillion reasons for always having to slide. It's just about switching fastly. Okay? So this is where, because in the average song that you're going to sing, there's really not a really reason where you're going to be like, There's that you don't hear that really at all. You'll hear somebody, and Usually it's a separation. There's not usually a crazy reason for somebody like to switch. Now check this out. I pulled this up because I wanted to show you guys this. This is really going to help you in this to understand what I'm saying. Check this out. This is Bruno Mars. Wait, I'm going to go full screen. Bang. Okay. Bruno Mars. This was when he was at the Apollo singing the Calling All My Lovelies, all right? And this is a breakdown. He starts singing to a lady in the rafters. And this is a very, 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 very good situation where I'm talking about this. Check this out.
When I call on you, this is what you're going to do. Come on!
Okay, that's gear 2. Gear 2. No matter how tense he looks, all that kind of stuff, that's a lot of his theater. That's theater. That's because Bruno Mars isn't an entertainer. He knows how to make you entertain. He could sing that same note without going, you know what I mean? He could sing that just like I did. So now check this out though. This is where he switches. Perfect. Perfect example of gear 2 into gear 3, not sliding. He's not saying, please, please. He's not trying to do that. He's not trying to slide up. He's switching. Please. I'm a little bit rough on that. Please, please. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not, but it's a clear gear 2, gear 3. Okay? Let's hear it one more time.
This is what you're going to do.
Perfect example of what I'm talking about. There's very little ever a time where you have to slide into the note. It's usually a second specific note. And in this, he's using the B sound. Instead of saying please, he's saying belize. Please, belize. That's what he's doing. And then here, we'll hear the last part of it. Now, he takes, and then the high, he brings it down. Now, that is he. You can sing that in your second register, but he stays in his third register. You have a lot of flexibility. So, please, so that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the fact that there's a difference between gear 1, gear 2, and gear 3. Okay? That was just an example. I wanted to show you that in a live performance, what that sounds like. Okay? There's a lot of teachers out there that do not explain it right, and they just think that you just take that gear 2 and send it all the way up into the stratosphere. It's not true. They're switching into their next gear. They just think that you know that already because it's their natural ability or they've worked on it for years and years and years. For example, in the Ken Tamplin method, which I love, I did buy, the thing that drove me crazy was in his head voice tutorials, he picks like an E or something. He goes, E. He says, you can easily bring your head voice all the way down. But the problem is that there's a lot of other people out there that consider a head voice as, and so the fact that it's all convoluted, some people say that's head voice, some people say it's falsetto, some people say it's reinforced falsetto. We'll get into that on another video. Is the part that drives me crazy because I'm explaining it the perfect way. Gear 1. Low notes. Gear 2, your mid to high range. Gear 3, your ultra high stuff like you just heard. You know, but you have to switch to that gear, okay? He's not, as high as we've all heard Bruno Mars sing high notes, right? Oh, baby. You know, but he's still not going, he's not going, I had to switch right there. You have to switch to get up to that next section. Even girls who have high voices can sing a little higher. Like for example, please. Girls might be like, please, please. Like high, they're pretty high, and they might be able to go a little higher, but to get, you have to switch. I don't care if you're a guy, girl, baritone, soprano. You have to switch, okay? So that is your third gear, and that is your first, second, third gear, and how to transition into them. Like I said, if you want to go real crazy in-depth detail, get the tamplin method. He has a lot of great tutorials on how to slide in and out and that kind of stuff. There's a couple other good teachers. Justin Stoney from New York Vocal Coaching. I've always liked his stuff. The thing that separates me from them is that I sing a ton of stuff in the styles that those artists sing. For example, when Justin Stoney of New York Vocal Coaching sings a hip-hop song versus a Bruno Mars song versus an opera song, he's always sounding pretty much the same because he's kind of like a classical tune, but he's the kind of guy that you would normally hear at a piano bar, okay? Sing a lot of different stuff, but it all sounds the same. You know what I'm saying? Ken Tamplin, he's a rocker at heart. Everything he sings sounds like he's a rocker singing that. Me, because I sing so many different styles of music, because I sing in a lot of restaurants, clubs, bars, all that kind of stuff, and you can go and check out my live stream videos that I've done. They're all on my YouTube page. Hours, 2, 3, 4 hours sometimes of nonstop music of all kinds of different stuff. So to be able to do that, you have to understand these 3 parts of the voice and how to go in and out of them and why to go in and out of them, okay? And so that's what this video is all about, is switching from the gears of the voice and being able to hear those. Now we're going to go to the next video. I'm going to go really in-depth into hearing the gears of the voice differently and how to be able to select them with your ear. Peace, everybody.